Welcome to the quiz show that demands nothing less than perfection. Behind their screen, the four contestants will be hoping their knowledge is flawless because one single mistake could give the game away. This is perfection. Hello and welcome to Perfection, the quiz show where only perfect play is good enough. Behind me are the contestants. We call them the usual suspects. They're in our isolation room. In a moment, we'll find out which one of them has been randomly selected to join me here to play Perfection. They will then face a series of true or false statements. For example, if I said Ethiopia was once a colony of Italy, would you say that's true or false? Well, if you'd said true, I can tell you, you'd be right. Answering true or false might seem easy, but if the contestant gets a single answer wrong, their opponents, the usual suspects, will be allowed into the game to capitalise on their mistakes. Now, each usual suspect will play a maximum of 8 games, so they'll need to think carefully and strategically about how to play the perfect game and when to come down to help. So you know how the game works. Let's meet the usual suspects.
Hi, my name's Mark. I'm from Huntingdon, Cambridgeshire, and I work as a laboratory scientist. This is my first game.
Hello, I'm Rona from Staffordshire. I'm a retired riding instructor and this is my second game.
Hello, my name is Nick. I'm from Bromley in Kent. I'm the chief electrician in the theatre and this is my second game.
Hi, I'm Scott. I'm from Glasgow. I'm a shop manager and this is my 6th game.
Best of luck to all of you, especially Scott, who's on his 6th game, as we find out which one of you has been randomly picked to play Perfection. Mark, it's you. Please come down and join me. Mark, welcome to the game.
Thank you.
So you're a scientist?
Certainly am.
And you test things to destruction?
The way I'd probably describe it is that I break things professionally and then I write the result down to 4 decimal places.
Which is kind of fun, really. You go to work and break things. And you work with robots?
Yes, we've got some real specialist bits of kit in the lab.
Which lad doesn't want to go to work with robots? Or is it glamorous as it sounds?
No.
Isn't it? Is it not really?
No, it has its moments.
You work with carbon fibre and...
Yeah, mainly...
coat things with gold?
Yes, yeah.
Why would you want to coat something with gold?
It's to test the conductivity of the material.
Oh, is it?
So, yeah, it's pimp my composite material, really.
OK, listen, Mark, we better get on with the quiz. It's now you versus the usual suspects. They were your teammates. They're now very much your enemies. Their job is to stop you from winning the prize fund because your failure will mean the prize money rolls over to the next game where one of them could be sitting here playing for a bigger total. Now, every game on Perfection is worth £1,000. Unfortunately for you, the previous game was won, so the prize fund is currently set at £1,000. Do you have anything earmarked for the £1,000? Should you walk away with it in a few minutes' time?
Well, I've just got engaged, actually, so I'm thinking hog roast, chocolate fountain, ice sculptures.
Nice work.
Who knows?
Yes, well, best of luck then.
Thank you.
Here's how the game works. You'll play 3 rounds and then a final. Every round that you achieve perfection will make the final easier for you. However, if your performance is anything less than perfect, the usual suspects here will have the chance to step in and steal the round from you, making the final much harder. More of that to follow later. Usual suspects, we're going to switch you off for now so you can't see or hear anything. And Mark, when they're like this, you can chat without giving away any vital knowledge, OK? Each round consists of 4 true or false statements. You'll be answering against the clock. You'll only have 45 seconds. And once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in.
Sure.
Happy with all that?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's play Perfection. Round 1, your 45 seconds starts now. The Denver Nuggets are an American basketball team.
I think that's true.
True. Liam Hemsworth is younger than his brother Chris.
I know they're brothers, so I'll say true.
True. Belladonna is another name for the Venus flytrap.
That's false.
False. And finally, the author George R.R. Martin is British.
That's Game of Thrones, I think. I think he's American, so that's false.
False. And with a little time to spare, you've answered all 4 statements. That sounded like a very confident round to me.
Well, is it possible to get a minus score in this game?
You sounded far too confident to be getting a minus score, but before we find out exactly how well you've done, let's bring back the usual suspects and see what they think. Here are the four statements, and next to them are Mark's answers. Scott, start us off. Has he achieved perfection?
I think he may well have done, Nick, yes.
Nick, do you agree?
I do. I agree with Scott. That looks good to me.
Rona, can you see anything wrong with these answers?
No, I can't find a thing wrong with them.
Well, according to the usual suspects, you've achieved perfection. Let's find out how many are correct. Congratulations, Mark, you have achieved perfection. Well, that's a cracking good start, isn't it?
I surprised myself there.
Let's go through that in more detail. The Denver Nuggets are an American basketball team. You said it was true, and of course it is true. Liam Hemsworth is younger than his brother Chris. You said that was true, and it is true. Belladonna is another name for the Venus flytrap. You said that was false, very confidently, and it is false because... It's another name for deadly nightshade.
Yes, I thought it was another plant, but yeah.
And the author, George R.R. Martin, is British. You said this was false because you thought he was American, and it is false because he is American.
Excellent.
As a result of that perfect performance, you may win the prize something a little easier. Let's have a look at your board. This is your final board appearing. These 6 blank spaces need to be filled with subject categories. Here are your final round category options, starting with landmarks, running through languages, celebrity, crime, and on to DJs, with many more in between. Now, because you won the round, you've earned the right to choose 2 categories to add to the board. Off you go.
Well, I'm actually very lucky here, Nick, because my specialist subject, Peppa Pig, is actually up there, so...
Would you like Peppa Pig to go into the final? No. No? OK.
I'm going to go for motor racing.
Motor racing goes into the final, and...
I like the randomness of celebrity crime, so I think I'll put that one up as well.
Celebrity crime goes into the final. Usual suspects, time to switch you off. He's done very well there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting game, this one. We'll see you in the next round. Cheerio. Right, let's have a look at that list as it stands. Were you bluffing on the Peppa Pig thing, or...?
I would know a few things about it, but I don't really want to admit that, do I?
OK, so pick out a couple that you'd really like to avoid.
I think poetry would be right up there. Taxes is just very random. Not quite sure what my knowledge would be like on that subject, so
Absolutely.
Possibly that one as well.
So which ones would you be choosing next?
Again, not doing much for my street cred here, but probably Towie and possibly space with the science thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
You work in the sort of aerospace industry,
Yeah.
don't you? Yeah, all right, Mark, you've made a great start to the game. If you're ready, shall we continue?
Yep.
Let's play round 2. Your 45 seconds starts now. Santa Monica is a city in Los Angeles County.
I think that's true.
True. The bottom stripe on India's national flag is green.
It's orange, white and green, so yes, that's true.
True. John Inman appeared in Are You Being Served?
Bit before my time, but he certainly did, that's true.
True. And finally, Jos Buttler has played rugby union for England.
He's a cricketer, that's false.
False. And with that, once again, you've answered all 4 statements very confidently.
Just a bit worried about A, thinking about it now, but fairly happy with the other 3.
All right, then, before we reveal exactly how well you've done, once again, time to chat to the usual suspects. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Mark's answers once again. Nick, has he achieved perfection this time?
Nick, I think he has, again.
That's disappointing for you guys. Rona, do you agree? Anything wrong with those answers?
I can't find any that I would change if I was answering that.
Scott, surely you can find something to quibble about here, can't you?
I don't think I can, Nick. I think he's done it again.
Mark, a moment of truth. Can you have achieved perfection twice in a row? Let's find out. Yes, you can. You have achieved perfection again. Right, let's go through these in a bit more detail. Santa Monica is a city in Los Angeles County. True or false? Yes, absolutely true. The bottom stripe on India's national flag is green. True or false? True, as you said. Orange, white and green. John Inman appeared in Are You Being Served? You said it was true, and it is true. And Jos Buttler has played rugby union for England. You said this was false, and it is false because, as you say, he is an England cricketer. Let's see the final board. You chose the first 2 categories, and because of that perfect performance in round 2, you get to choose the next 2 as well.
I'm going to go for space.
Space and
Landmarks.
landmarks goes into the final. Well, you're just interested spectators at this stage, aren't you, usual suspects, really? Maybe he'll slip up in round 3. That's where we'll see you next. Cheerio. You're on the run a bit, haven't you? Can you make it 3 out of 3?
Well, I'm going to certainly go for it, because obviously it makes my chances of winning in the final a lot easier.
Exactly right. Let's press on then and play round 3. Your 45 seconds start now. The 2014 film Non-Stop takes place on a train.
It's not one I've seen. I'm going to say false.
False. Ophelia dies in the Shakespeare play Hamlet.
Nightmare subject for me. I'm going to say false.
False. Beavers are native to North America.
That's true.
True. And finally, in 2014, Good Friday was in March.
I think it was.
So you're saying...
True.
True. Didn't sound quite as confident this time.
No, I think I've slipped up on a few there. There's a few categories there that are not my strong points, I must admit.
All right, let's bring him back. Whose turn this time? Rona, you can start us off this time. Has he made any mistakes this time?
The only one I would doubt is A.
Interesting. So there's a chink of light here. Nick?
I think he has made a mistake this time, Nick. I think B is wrong.
Interesting. Scott?
I've got a question mark over D, Nick. I wasn't sure whether it was March or April.
So between them, the usual suspects think you might have made mistakes on 3 of the 4. Let's find out how many are correct. Two out of 4. Well, they identified there were problems. You thought there might be here, and lo and behold, there are. The usual suspects can steal this round off you, but only if they can identify the 2 answers they need to change.
I'm confident that Ophelia dies in Shakespeare's play.
Definitely B from false to true, Nick.
Definitely B from false to true, and then one other.
A.
A?
A or D, yeah. I'll leave it to
I'm
you.
inclined to go with A.
I'll take counsel and go A from false to true, Nick.
A from false to true, leaving C and D as answered by Mark. All right, usual suspects, let's find out what the correct answers are. The 2014 film Non-Stop takes place on a train. Rona thought this might be one of the incorrect ones. Is it true or false? It's false. It actually takes place on a plane, not on a train. That's bad news for the usual suspects. You can't achieve perfection. Let's go through the rest and see whether you can achieve perfection at home. Ophelia dies in the Shakespeare play Hamlet. True or false? True, in actual fact. She drowns. Beavers are native to North America. True or false? Well, of course, that is true. And in 2014, Good Friday was in March. True or false? False. April the 18th. Let's have a look at your final board. It's 4 categories chosen by Mark so far. No one won the last round, so what do we do? Well, you'll take it in turns to choose a category, and Mark, as the single player, you get to go first.
I'm going to pick DJs.
And DJs goes into the final, and usual suspects, this is your sole opportunity to choose a category that might trip Mark up in the final. So what's it going to be?
I'm thinking Towie.
If Mark watched it, he'd have picked it for himself, and he hasn't, so that might trip him up.
Yeah. Yeah?
I don't know.
Gonna go for Towie, Nick.
Towie goes into the final. We now know our 6 final categories. They are motor racing, celebrity crime, space, landmarks, DJs, and Towie. I can't really say well played, usual suspects, but at least you did get 1 foot in the door there. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. In the meantime, it's time to switch you off for the final time. Cheerio. It's a bit jammy, isn't it?
Not bad.
There's you picking Towie out, decide not to go for it, and what do? They pick it for you. You've basically got a board of your categories
Thank
there,
you
haven't
very much. Yeah, let's just wait and see how I do in the final.
Well, let's find out right now. Mark, for £1,000, it is time to play the final. Mark, this is the all-important final. If you can achieve perfection, you'll be leaving with a prize of under £1,000, which would be very nice. If you fail, however, you'll be leaving with nothing, which would be great news for the usual suspects, as one of them could be playing for a rollover of £2,000 on the next game. So, let's play the final round. Mark, here are your final 6 categories. Now, you must answer all 6 statements correctly if you want to win the £1,000. Think carefully. There is no time limit, but once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in. Are you ready?
Sure. Yep, let's do it.
Then let's reveal your first statement. Please tell me whether you believe it to be true or false. Motor racing. Sebastian Vettel won every Formula One race in 2013.
Definitely false.
False. Celebrity crime. Ray Winston spent time in jail for robbery.
Tough one, because obviously he has a bad boy persona. I'm going to say false.
False. Space. Venus has 42 moons.
That seems a lot. I think that's false.
False. Landmarks. The Eiffel Tower is taller than the Statue of Liberty.
I think the Statue of Liberty might have been given to the Americans by the French. I think that's true, that the Eiffel Tower is taller.
True. DJs. Vivienne Westwood is the mother of the DJ Tim Westwood.
Tricky. I think it's just too convenient that it's plucked out 2 Westwoods, they're famous Westwoods. I'm going to say that's false.
False. And finally, Towie. Joey Essex's autobiography is titled Being Ream.
Well, I know that's one of his catchphrases, so it's got to be true.
True. And with that, you've answered all 6 statements, and those answers are all locked in. If you've made a mistake, you go home with nothing. Which ones are you worried about?
Definitely B, and E I was on the fence for, so that could go either way, but pretty confident with the rest.
Let's bring back the usual suspects and see what they have to say. So you can now see the final 6 statements, and next to them are Mark's answers. Mark, your answers are now locked in, and you can't change them by yourself, but if you think you've made a mistake, you can unlock the board with the help of the usual suspects. This will, however, come at a cost. Who would you like to hear from first?
I'll hear from Rona first, please.
I am dubious on one particular one, but
Okay.
I'm so dubious I don't think I can help you.
Okay, that's very clear, isn't it?
Yes, that's pretty conclusive. I'll hear from Nick next.
I think you've made a couple of mistakes, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on that board. So I think I'm going to be staying where I am for this one.
Okay, second conclusive one. Finally, Scott.
I'm pretty sure you've got one wrong. I'll be looking for at least half the money to come down.
So you get an offer from Scott for £500 to come down and join in. Now, have you got one wrong? Is he telling the truth? Is he bluffing? Do you need him to come and help? Do you want to negotiate with him? What do you think?
It's very difficult because I appreciate Scott's been on the show for a while and he might be bluffing. I think I'm going to decline the offer and just see how I get on.
OK, so negotiations have been concluded. You decided to go it alone, £1,000 at stake, 6 answers away. Let's find out if you've achieved perfection. Well, we can deal with one thing before we get started. Scott, were you bluffing, or did you think there was one wrong?
I think F may be wrong, Nick.
F might be wrong. Now, the ones that you were worried about were B and E, weren't they? That's B and E? Yeah. So let's start with A anyway. Sebastian Vettel won every Formula One race in 2013. You said this was very definitely false. Is it true or false? Yes, it is false. Why was it very definitely wrong?
I think he won like the first maybe 6, something like that, but certainly not every race. So
13 out of 19 he won, but
Right.
not every one. You're absolutely right. Let's hop over the Ray Winston one for a minute, because that's one of the ones you're worried about. Venus has 42 moons. You said this was false. It's just too many moons. Is it true or false? False. Venus has no official moons, in actual fact. So let's press on. The Eiffel Tower is taller than the Statue of Liberty. You thought the Statue of Liberty was given to the USA by the French. That's actually true, but it's not the question. The question is whether the Eiffel Tower is taller than the Statue of Liberty. You went with true on this. If you're right, you get halfway towards the £1,000. Is it true or false? It's true. 324 metres for the Eiffel Tower and 93 metres for the Statue of Liberty. Okay. So a considerable difference between the two. Let's deal with the one that Scott wasn't sure about there. Joey Essex's autobiography is titled Being Ream. If he'd have come down, he might have had a chat with you about changing this one. You said it was true. Should you have taken Scott's offer to come down and join in? Joey Essex's autobiography is titled Being Ream. Is that true or false? It's true. You're two now away from perfection and the £1,000. Let's go back up to the two that you're really worried about. Starting at the top there, Ray Winston spent time in jail for robbery. You said this was false. You think he has a bad boy image, but is a lot nicer than people think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's find out. Is it true or false? It is false. Ray is a law-abiding citizen.
He's a good guy.
Right, so we're down to this one. This is the key one, isn't it? Vivienne Westwood is the mother of the DJ Tim Westwood. Now, you said false, and we need this to turn red. If it does, all on your own, without the help of anybody else, you've actually played an exceptionally good game right the way through, and you walk out of here with £1,000, which is going to go to...
To my wedding, to the lovely Jennifer.
OK, best of luck. We'd like this to go right for you. Vivienne Westwood is the mother of the DJ Tim Westwood. You said false. You need this to turn red. Is it true or false for £1,000? It's false. Congratulations, you have achieved perfection and won £1,000. Congratulations, sir. Very, very well played.
Thank you.
Let's clear that last one up. Vivienne Westwood and DJ Tim Westwood, no relation whatsoever. Usual suspects. It's bad news for you because normally the prize money rolls over if they fail, but of course he's won, which means that we reset the prize total back to £1,000 for the next game. But he played very well, didn't he? It's very tough to argue with that.
Yeah, he did.
Very tough to argue. OK, congratulations, Mark. You walk out of here with £1,000 because you achieved perfection. Did he play well, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you.
Mark showing the way to do it. So technically, back-to-back wins here on Perfection. It's now time to meet the next usual suspect, hoping to play Perfection today. Usual suspect, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bradley. I'm from London, and I'm a fine arts student.
Welcome, Bradley, and best of luck to all of you as we now find out which one of you has been randomly selected to play Perfection. Scott, it's you. Come down and play Perfection. Scott, welcome to the game.
Thank you.
You must be nervous up there. 7th game.
7th game. It was a bit of a marathon.
Yeah. A little bit worried it wasn't going to happen to you, but here you are and ready to play. Now, you share a passion with me, American football.
I love American football. Very big fan.
Once you're into it and you've sort of kind of worked it all out, it becomes sort of obsessive, doesn't it?
Once you get to know the rules, they're not as complicated as people think they are.
It's a bit like rugby, but it's more like sort of chess played with real players, because the coaches off the field play it as much as the people on, don't they? So...
Yeah.
OK, well, Scott, we better get on with the show. It's you versus the usual suspects. They were for a very long time your teammates, but now they are your enemies. Every game on Perfection is worth £1,000. Now, unfortunately, you come down to the hot seat after 2 people in a row have actually won the jackpot. As a result, the prize fund is reset to £1,000. And £1,000 is good money by anybody's standards, isn't it?
It certainly is, yes.
So what are you going to spend it on?
I might buy some American football merchandise.
Ah, is that what you fancy, is it? Or maybe you can go to one of the games.
I could go down to Wembley, yes.
Because they're coming over here now, aren't
they?
Quite regularly. All right, well, look, best of luck. 3 rounds of the final to come. Usual suspects, we're going to switch you off for now, so you can't see or hear anything. But as soon as Scott makes a mistake, you'll be back in the game. You ready to play?
As I'll ever be.
Then let's play Perfection. Round 1, your 45 seconds starts now. Tom York is the lead singer of Muse.
I know he's a lead singer. I think I'll say true. I'm not sure about the group.
True.
I'll say true.
The Leghorn is a breed of domestic chicken.
I think that's false.
False. The Matterhorn mountain is over 4,000 metres high.
Oh, sticky one. I'm going to say, how's the guess it's true?
True. And finally, kookaburras are native to Australia.
True, Nick.
True. And with that, you've answered all 4 statements. How was that?
OK, I know Tom York's the lead singer, but I'm not sure if it's Muse now. I'm starting to question myself.
All right, before we reveal how well you've done, time to bring back the usual suspects. Don't forget they'll be able to hear you. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Scott's answers. Nick, how has your former usual suspect done this time round? Has he achieved perfection?
He's got one wrong, I think.
Which one?
B is true.
Rona?
I agree with him. B is definitely true.
Welcome, Bradley. Can you see anything wrong with these answers?
I think he's done very well. The only one that I'm not too sure about is B, so I think that is the only question he actually has got wrong.
All right, then, Scott, the moment of truth. You need to have answered all 4 perfectly to have won the round. Let's find out how many are correct. In fact, 2 out of 4, certainly not perfection, and you've let the usual suspects into the game with a chance to steal. If they can identify the 2 answers, they need to change.
Well, the leghorn is definitely a breed of chicken, because I used to keep chickens.
So, Nick, we'd certainly like to change B from false to true.
Yep, B changes from false to true, but you've got to find one other to change.
The Matterhorn, I've been up, but
I think C seems fine.
C seems fine.
I think
Does
he's
it?
got
I
that
think
right.
D is true. Kookaburras are
Yes,
native to
definitely.
Australia.
So it's A,
So
doesn't it?
does that leave us with A that we
Actually,
think
yeah,
we'll have to
yeah,
change?
A has to be changed.
In that case, Nick, we'd like to change A from true to false.
A changes from true to false, leaving C and D as answered by Scott. OK, usual suspects, let's find out what the correct answers are. Tom York is the lead singer of Muse. True or false? False, yes. He is famously the lead singer of Radiohead. The leghorn is a breed of domestic chicken. True or false? Yes, that's absolutely true. Very well done, usual suspects. You've identified the 2 that you needed to change. The Matterhorn mountain is over 4,000 metres high. True or false? That's true, and I can't let this pass without asking. Rona, what were you doing up the top of the Matterhorn?
I didn't go to the top. I went on the Matterhorn.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. You're at the bottom. Yeah. Not quite as dramatic, is it, to be fair? OK, and finally, kookaburras are native to Australia. True or false? True. Congratulations, usual suspects. You have achieved perfection. Well, Scott, they've nicked it off you. They've succeeded where you failed and they've stolen the round. Usual suspects, you now have the opportunity to make Scott's chances of winning the prize fund a little harder. Let's see the final board. Scott, this is your final board. These 6 blank spaces need to be filled with subject categories. Here are your final round category options, starting with female singers, running on through papers, words, and on to Danny Dyer, with many more in between. Now, because the usual suspects stole the round from you, they choose the 2 categories, hoping to make the final harder for you to win. So which 2 would you like, usual suspects?
Any thoughts?
I'm thinking chart hits.
Any particular ones leap out at you, Rona?
Norse myths.
Norse myth. Yeah. So that would be Norse myth
North Smith goes in.
and chart hits.
And chart hits makes their way into the final. OK, well done, usual suspects. You won the first round. Time to switch you off, and we'll see you in round 2. Norse myth. Chart hits.
I think I'm all right. I think I might have thrown him a wobbly there by getting that Muse one wrong. So, no, I'm OK with chart hits.
Yeah. OK, Scott, let's have a look through those other ones, shall we? Pick me 2 that you'd try and avoid.
Rebel Wilson, probably. Hispaniola.
And 2 you'll be choosing first when your chance comes.
I would think golf majors, papers, maybe.
All right, then, Scott, it's only the first round. You have 2 more rounds still to find perfection and choose your own categories for the final. Let's press on and play round 2. Your 45 seconds starts now. There are 20 tube lines on the London Underground.
I don't think there's as many as 20, Nick, so I'm going to say false.
False. Pope John Paul II won the Nobel Peace Prize.
I think that's true.
True. The actress Mila Kunis used to be blind in one eye.
False.
False. And finally, Clement Attlee was Prime Minister before Anthony Eden.
Clement Attlee. I think he was after Anthony Eden, so I'm going to say false.
False. And with that, you've answered all 4 statements. I was getting a little worried about the time there, but you had half an eye on it anyway, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tough round again, or OK?
Tough round, yeah.
All right, let's see if the usual suspects can let us know whether you've achieved perfection or not. Once again, here are the four statements, and next to them, Scott's answers. Rona, has he achieved perfection?
I don't think so. I think he's got D wrong.
Bradley?
I know that he has D wrong, and I'm not too sure about A.
Nick?
He's slipped up on D. Other than that, I think he's probably right, but I think D is wrong.
All right, Scott, the moment of truth. Let's find out how many are correct. Just 1 out of 4, in fact, on this occasion. You can steal the round, but you need to change 3 answers. But which 3 usual suspects?
Do you agree we need to change D?
Yeah, I agree that we need to change D, yes.
So I think we'll give ourselves a start, Nick. We'll change D from false to true.
D changes from false to true?
I think the underground would have more than 20 tube lines, wouldn't it?
I don't think there are, actually.
You don't?
No, I'm running through tube lines in my head, and I'm not getting near 20
Oh.
different lines.
So
Victoria,
that is
Jubilee.
right. That is right, then.
So I think
Let's all
I think
B, C,
Scott
and D,
has.
then.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we have to. Nick, we'd like to change B from true to false.
B changes from true to false.
C from false to true.
And C changes from false to true, leaving A as answered by Scott. All right, usual suspects, let's find out what the correct answers are. There are 20 tube lines on the London Underground. True or false? False, absolutely. There are, in fact, 11. You're quite right, Nick. There were nowhere near 20. Pope John Paul II won the Nobel Peace Prize. True or false? Yes, false. He's been in the running, but never actually won. The actress Mila Kunis used to be blind in one eye. True or false? Yeah, actually, true. She suffered from a condition called chronic iritis until she had it fixed, basically. And finally, Clement Attlee was Prime Minister before Anthony Eden. True or false? True. So well done, usual suspects. You have achieved perfection. Usual suspects have succeeded where you failed and they've stolen the round. Let's have a look at the final board. Current situation, 2 categories chosen by the usual suspects, and because you won round 2, you get to choose the next 2 as well.
Words?
Oh, what?
Does that jump out at you?
Yeah, that
okay.
jumps out.
We'll take words, please.
Words goes into the final.
I was thinking London, maybe.
Oh.
Okay, and we'll put London in there as well.
And London
please,
goes in as well. OK, congratulations, usual suspects. You won the second round. Time to switch you off. We'll see you in round 3. What do you think? London?
It just all depends on the question that comes out, Nick.
Yeah, words? Well, you've used a few.
I used quite a few.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too many 4 letters.
We'll see how the next round goes, shall we? You have one more chance to achieve perfection and choose your own categories for the final. Ready?
Yep.
Let's play round 3. Your 45 seconds starts now. The film Predator is based on a true story.
False.
False. The musician Moby has a brother called Dick.
False, Nick.
False. Andy Coulson was the editor of The Sun newspaper.
I know he was editor of the News of the World sister paper. I'm going to say false.
False. And finally, Manchester City won the 2013-14 Premier League.
He certainly did. True.
True. And with that, you've answered all 4. How was that?
B, is it too bizarre to be true? Because Moby's obviously not his real name. C, I know he was News of the World editor, but what did he edit The Sun sister paper? Taking a chance.
Well, let's find out whether the usual suspects have knowledge in these areas. So here they are again, the 4 statements and the 4 answers. Bradley, has he achieved perfection this time?
I think he's done very well. I believe he has achieved perfection.
Rona?
Yes, I'm a bit dubious over B, but otherwise I think he's done very well.
Nick?
I'm pretty sure he's got perfection there, Nick.
A vote of confidence for you there from the usual suspects. Let's find out if you have achieved perfection. Congratulations, it appears you have. Very well done. Perfection it is. So, the film Predator is based on a true story, true or false? Yes, of course it's false. But actually, it's happened in real life. A whole bunch of army people have been going through the jungle and discovered an alien who's only come here to hunt down human beings. Yeah, very weird, but you managed to pick your way through that one. The musician Moby has a brother called Dick. You said it was false, and of course it is false. Although, interestingly, his real name is Richard. Andy Coulson was the editor of the Sun newspaper. You said false, and it is false because he was editor of the News of the World. And finally, Manchester City won the 2013-14 Premier League. True or false? That is, of course, true. Well, after that sterling performance you've made winning the prize fund of £1,000 a little easier, let's have a look at the final board. Currently occupied by 4 categories chosen by the usual suspects, but because you won the last round, you get to add 2 of your choice now. So which do you like?
I think I'll go for golf majors, Nick.
Golf majors goes in, and
I'll take, if you excuse the pun, a punt on female singers.
female singers goes into the final as well. So we now know our 6 final categories. They are Norse myth, chart hits, words, London, golf majors, and female singers. OK, time to switch off the usual suspects for the last time. And away they go. So, well, you know, you've got half a chance here, haven't you?
Yeah, just probably
been warming up, that's all.
Yeah, that's it. I just needed a bit of time.
Yeah.
7 games as a usual suspect wasn't enough, obviously.
Yeah. And you got perfection in the last round, so you're obviously peaking at around the right time.
Hopefully not peak too early.
Scott, for £1,000, it's time to play the final. Scott, this is the all-important final. If you get achieve perfection, you'll be leaving with a prize fund of £1,000. If you fail, you'll be leaving with nothing, which would be great news for the usual suspects, as one of them could be playing for a rollover of £2,000 on the next game. We'd like you to set us a new record here. I don't think we've ever had 3 perfections in a row and 3 people taking away the money in a row, and I'd really like that to happen now. So let's play the final round. Scott, here are your final 6 categories. You must answer all 6 statements correctly if you want to win the £1,000. Think carefully. There is no time limit, but once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in. Are you ready?
I am, Nick, yes.
Let's reveal your first statement. Please tell me whether you believe it to be true or false. Norse myth. Odin was the Norse god of poetry.
Odin was a Norse god. Sure of that. It's not ringing any bells, and it's probably my weakest subject, but I'm going to say false.
False. Chart hits. Summer is a UK #1 single by Calvin Harris.
I would hope to know this, being a fellow Scotsman, Calvin Harris. So I'm going to say true, Nick.
True. Words. Epilation is a term for hair removal.
Having a wife and a daughter, I know epilators are used for removing hair, so I'm going to say true.
True. London. Big Ben's clock tower was built in 1642.
It's going to be a complete guess, I'm afraid, Nick. I'm going to say true.
True. Golf majors. Tiger Woods has won every major at least 3 times.
Don't think he's won the PGA as many as 3 times. I can think he's won the Open twice, I think. So I'm going to say false.
False. And finally, female singers. Emily Sandé was born in Wales.
No, I'm not exactly where she was born in. She was brought up in Aberdeenshire. But definitely she was not born in Wales, so it's going to be false, Nick.
False. And with that, you've answered all 6 statements, and those answers are locked in. Remember, if there's one single mistake, you leave with nothing. Which ones are you worried about?
Big Ben, I'm worried about, and Odin, the Norse myth. Yeah, I'm not.
A and D. All right, let's bring back the usual suspects and see what they think. You can now see the final 6 statements, and next to them are Scott's answers. Scott, your answers are now locked in, and you can't change them by yourself. But if you think you made a mistake, you can unlock the board with the help of the usual suspects. This will, however, come at a cost. Scott, who would you like to hear from first?
Could I ask Rona first, thanks?
I am not sure on 2 of them, and I couldn't give you a correct or wrong answer on either of them, so I can't be of any help to you at all.
Rona has declared herself out of the running.
Thank you, Rona.
Anyone else?
Yes, Bradley, please.
I think you have 2 possible wrong answers, but due to this my first time in the seat, I'm not going to come down.
Any leeway in there, Bradley?
Sorry, I just believe just because it's my first time on the chair, as I said, there's two possible answers that I do not know if you've got right. So, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to not come down.
That's OK, Bradley, thank you. And finally, Nick.
I'm sorry, that's not a good board for me either. There's 3 there that I would be guessing, and I couldn't tell you whether they're right or wrong. So I don't think I'd be any help to you at all. Sorry about that.
That's OK. It's OK, Nick.
They're not going to come down and help. You are on your own, £1,000 at stake, 6 answers away. But you're still in with a chance here. Let's find out if you've achieved perfection. How do you want to go? Top to bottom, bottom to top?
The 2 I wasn't sure about, Nick, were A and D, sorry. So
You want to start at the top and find out? Or you want
why
to start
not?
at the bottom?
Let's
Up to you.
go for it. Let's go for
All
it.
right. Odin was the Norse god of poetry. You had to think about this. Didn't ring any bells, so you said false. We need it to turn red for you to get you off to a good start. Is it true or false? It's true, I'm afraid. Did anybody up there know that? Did the usual suspects know?
That was one I was not sure of.
Not sure. Yes, a not sure one. As a result, you can't achieve perfection, and you won't be going home with the £1,000. I wonder whether you can still achieve perfection at home. Let's have a look through the rest of them, shall we, and see how well you've done. Summer is a UK #1 single by Calvin Harris. You said this was true. Is it true or false? Yes, it's true. And well done. And as you pointed out, a fellow Scot writing about summer, which shows some ambition, doesn't it, to be fair? Let's face it. Epilation is a term for hair removal. Now, whether you're right or wrong, you're in trouble when you get home for bringing up your wife and daughter's hair removal techniques.
I didn't say they used it. I just said...
You were aware of it?
Oh, aware of it, yes.
Yeah.
It's one passion.
Trust me, you're in trouble. Epilation is a term for hair removal. Is that true or false? Yeah, that's true. So that's good. So 2 out of 3 at the moment. Big Ben's clock tower was built in 1642. You said true. Is it true or false? False. 1850s it was built, in actual fact. Tiger Woods has won every major at least 3 times. This is one of the category you chose for yourself, yeah?
Yeah, there was, yeah.
You said false. Is it true or false? True. Extraordinarily true. Every major at least 3 times. That is an extraordinary record, isn't it?
It is.
Finally, Emily Sandé was born in Wales. Now, you said she was brought up where?
Aberdeenshire.
Aberdeenshire. So you said false. Is it true or false? Yes, false. Born in Sunderland, in actual fact, but brought up in Scotland. You're quite right. Usual suspects, great news for you. The prize fund rolls over to the next game where one of you could be playing for a total of £2,000. Scott, you failed to achieve perfection, but you were with us a long time. We all got to know you very well, which is really nice. You enjoy yourself?
I've had an absolute blast, Nick.
You know, we'd love to have you. Let's hear it for Scott, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's all we have time for. Please join us again next time when our usual suspects have the chance to play again, this time for £2,000. And remember, as you saw in Game 1, on this show, we will pay, but only for absolute perfection. Goodbye.